Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another day in my life. So today is autumnal day in my life. It's very exciting because first off, I finally made my very first pie of the season. Also, I went to my very first Victory Mamas class where I got to learn about canning. So you know that was really exciting. And then I'm bringing you along today for our homeschooling field trip. We visited a local farm and it was the coolest experience. And of course, I'm bringing you along for just our recent day-to-day fall routines. Before we hop right in, I want to give a special shout out, as usual, to my patrons. If you haven't checked out my Patreon, I film and upload exclusive content over there. I talk about all kinds of things, but in general, I do go a little bit deeper over there. I've dove into conversations about my faith. I've talked about my thoughts around vaccines, around education and homeschooling, home birthing, and cultural commentary in general. If you want to come on over and check out all of that content, I will have that linked down below. So pretty much all year round, one of my favorite things to do in the morning is to open the windows and let the light in. But I have to say, especially during fall, our front window is so beautiful. It's a pleasure to open it up and get that view. So I started off this morning by cleaning up my kitchen. Now, my kitchen was actually a disaster, and I don't know why the camera did not quite convey the full depth of disastrousness that was existing in my kitchen. Like, I feel like this makes it look like it was just a little bit dirty, but it was a complete wreck. So on this morning, I did the dishes, I cleaned all of my pots and pans because I feel like half of my collection or more was just sitting in my sink. So I pretty much just got to work and did some cleaning. For me, it's definitely true that the kitchen is the heart of the home. I spend a very large chunk of my day in my kitchen, as you guys know, and I love it, but I love it even more if it's picked up and clean. Clean is, I feel like, relative in a spectrum. Like, I feel like everybody has a different definition of what clean means, but just not a mess, right? I'm gonna enjoy my time cooking in the kitchen a lot more that way. Side note I wanna throw out there, I miss my gas range. I don't love cooking on an electric range. Any tips you guys have for cooking on an electric range are welcome. Then I wiped down my island. As you can see, we are watching Girl in Calico in the background to keep up those fall vibes. And then I had to cut to show you all of the clothes that I picked up Logan recently at the Just Between Friends sale. If you watched my haul last year, you know that I got a lot of great things. This was my third time attending this sale, and I'm shocked every time at how much stuff I'm able to pick up for Logan and how affordable it is. I got him an entirely new wardrobe, pants, sweaters, shoes, t-shirts, sweatpants for like $120. It's actually insane, and everything is such great quality. If you have a Just Between Friends sale near you, I highly recommend checking it out. Kind of random, but I actually save my sourdough discard pizza in the freezer. Like, if I have a slice or two left, I will just throw it in the freezer. And on this day, I pulled out those straggler slices and heated them up in the oven to eat. And this was a super exciting day because Dan actually bought us a chicken coop. No, we do not have chickens yet, but this is what Dan wanted to do this time around. He wants to be prepared with the coop. So he found a coop that he liked online, brought it home. I was busy picking flowers in the backyard. As you can see, we're diverting for a moment because I made me and Loki an afternoon snack of some skyr yogurt, honey, pears, hemp hearts, and pumpkin seeds. And it was delicious. My kitchen was clean. I was pleased. Okay, so my dad's birthday was the following day, and I wanted to give him a pecan pie because he loves pecan pies. So this turned into my first pecan pie of the season. I have to know, by the way, do you say pecan? Pecan? I don't know, that's definitely not it. Let me know how you say pecan. And also, do you bake pies? And if so, what is your favorite pie to make? Because I definitely want to branch out in the pie world this year. So as you can see, by the way, I grated my butter before I threw it in the pie crust. because it makes it easier for me to kind of squish the butter into the flour. I also would like for you to immediately stop judging me for wearing my wedding ring while I made pie crust. I don't know what's wrong with me. I forget to take off my wedding ring like 95% of the time when I'm cooking something messy. So once I had mixed my dough, I threw some flour on the countertop, and Logan and I worked together, or at least we tried to work together. It's really hard to work together with a toddler when you're trying to roll out dough into a perfect circle. So if it looks a little bit awkward while we're doing this, I'm sure you can imagine it feels a little awkward to partner co-roll dough together. He was into it though. In general, Logan wants to help make like everything, like anything he can help do or make or fix or tear apart. Logan is all about it. So he enjoyed helping and watching me construct this pie. And then lately, the way that I've been into making my pie crust is just taking a fork and clamping down around the edges. When I first started making pie, I liked kind of folding it with my fingers, but I find that this is just easier. And then honestly, I never pay attention to what size like pie crust I'm making. And so if I stretch it into the biggest one, I don't have a whole lot of room to do folding. So just clamping down with the fork like that, I find to be the easiest thing to do. Then, as you can see, I was browning my butter, and once that had browned, which that's like the key, honestly, with making this pie, the brown butter makes such a big difference. I will link, by the way, this recipe down below. If you're looking for a good pecan pie recipe, this recipe is insane. So then I poured in maple syrup and honey, and then I let that cool while I mixed up my sugars. Also, I put my eggs in a little bit of warm water to help bring them to room temperature faster. And then I cracked those and added them to the mix. So as you can see, then I added my cooled brown butter, maple syrup, honey mixture to my mixture with my sugar and my eggs. And I stirred all of that together really well. And then I poured in my pecans to the bottom of my pie dish. Then I poured all of that gooey goodness directly into the pie bowl or pie dish, whatever. As you can see, next up, I added foil around the edges of my crust. I don't know if this is something you really have to do or if it really helps per se, but my friend Amy, who I made my first pie with ever, it was an apple pie. I think it was last year. I think that was the first time I made a pie. She did this and she said it helps to prevent the crust from burning, and I found that to be true, so I do that now. Now, simultaneously, I actually had fries or potato slices boiling. So I pulled those off the water, and then I looked in the backyard, and Casey and Dan were pushing the chicken coop across the yard to its new home. Now, I simultaneously actually had chili going on the stovetop. So I had the chili going, I had the pie in the oven and the fries in the oven. And then at this point, I actually decided to feed my sourdough starter. I have not been super on top of feeding my sourdough starter, like by any means. I've actually gone like days in between feeding it. It's still been working, but I needed to feed it on this day. And as you can see, my pie turned out beautifully. It was so delicious. It's upsetting. And then my fries turned out great too. I have been making my fries lately in tallow, if I haven't told you guys that. Super duper tasty. So now we are jumping ahead to me and Alma the llama at my very first Victory Mamas night. So this is actually a class that goes on in our town once a month where different mamas come together and they teach each other skills. So on this night, I was very excited to be able to attend the canning night class. I know nothing about canning, but you guys know that I've mentioned that I'm very interested in learning. So this was a really great way to get introduced to the concept. It was funny though, because I came home that night and Dan was like, "So do you know how to can now?" And I was like, "Not even close." It was difficult. That's my friend Maya. And it was great though, because I feel like I was able to be exposed to the idea in a more like visceral way, if that's how we put it, so that as I, when I try to do it again, it won't be my first time being exposed to this. So I definitely learned a lot. I just don't feel like I could go can by myself yet. So. By the way, I wanted to let you guys know, you'll see Alma again later in this video, but Alma actually passed away recently. You might be able to tell that Alma is super soft, and that's because she was born prematurely. So this footage is sad and special to us because Alma is no longer with us. Okay, so this day was both very exciting and very ironic because we visited a farm for our homeschooling group. This is actually the mother of one of the girls that's in the group. This is her mom's farm, her mom and her dad's farm. And actually, her mom watches my channel. So, hey, if you're watching right now. And I'm really glad that we got to meet and that we got to just soak up the joys of their farm. This was such a cool experience, and all of the kids had so much fun on this day, and we did too. They got to play with the animals and feed them food and drink hot apple cider and pick pumpkins, and we even did a story time and played some games. It was such a beautiful day, and I love getting to be a part of such a fun homeschooling adventure group. You guys know I'm a city girl and a wannabe homesteader, fake wannabe homesteader, and so getting to do stuff like this just lights my heart on fire, and I know that Logan has an absolute blast as well. I honestly can't believe it's fall already, and I'm trying to just embrace every day and all of the colors that we're seeing because I know that winter is just around the corner, but holy moly, it has been so beautiful around here, and I'm so grateful to be able to see the seasons unfold and watch the life cycle of all of the trees and the plants around us. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to let me know in the comments down below, do you bake pies? What is your favorite pie to bake? And do you say pecan? How do you say it? And with all of that being said, I will, God willing, see you guys back here soon with another new video. Alright, bye guys.